Beautiful, light-hearted, open-minded, very present beings. Welcome to your practice. And I say that not kidding around. You can't do yoga if you take it too seriously. If you're too hard on yourself and you're too judgy, and sometimes maybe you need that to kind of get you out of your head. If maybe that was, your experience when you first started, who knows? But entering in, you need to be open, accept what's come, step into things, try new things, be open to the experience, and the experience is the experience. Meaning that, we use the poses and the practice to illuminate things that are happening within us and to bring them to the surface. And sometimes that is just emotional. And, emotion, energy and motion is what it translates to, energy and motion, because emotions are energy. So whatever you're feeling, we want to let that move through us. And that's the intent of this practice, to elongate, stretch ourselves, and to allow whatever needs to move through. So into that, let your hands rest. Let's go palms up as we've been doing. And take a full inhale, lengthen tall. And as you exhale, close your eyes, bow your chin. Let's just take a few breaths here, just settling in. And right at the beginning of your practice, notice the flow of your breath, the quality of the breath. And start to listen to the sound of your breath. And imagining that breath is the ocean moving through you, the energy and motion of your own ocean. And as you inhale, feel the breath rise up. And as you exhale, feel the breath ground you down. This linear movement that with every breath cycle, we're invited to expand, to lengthen, to grow. And also to exhale and soften and ground and release. Let's take a few more rounds of breath, softening into your shoulders, your jaw, your thighs. Just taking one more full inhale. Sigh out to your exhale. Stay here as you inhale, grow tall. And exhale, bring these palms together in front of your heart, bow your chin with reverence and resonance and acceptance and presence. We enter into this practice together. And call ourselves home 3 times. Begin with a nice big breath. We'll release this breath completely and inhale fully to begin. Bowing your chin, place your hands on your thighs, your chin, and open your eyes. Okay, let's stretch our legs out. Just let them move around. We're going to come to opposite cross. So just give them a little shake and then find your non-habitual cross and prop up if you need. Good. We'll just start with some side bending. We'll take the right hand over to the side, reach the left arm up, and just side bend. And maybe we'll dance it a little bit. So come back and then inhale. Maybe the exhale takes you over. Just moving with your breath. So just do this a few times. If you can get a little longer through the left side, let's just take this last one and we'll let the left arm just rest over here. I'm going to stretch. Maybe you'll push as if you're pushing something away. So flex the wrist, open your heart, look up. Good. And then let's take this left arm and we'll just wing it down to the floor. Bring both hands down, either on your, both hands on the right side. Turn yourself to look over your right shoulder. So you're drawing in the heart a little bit, the belly a little bit. Soften your jaw. So it's a little bit of a twist action happening. Take one more breath. And then keeping your hands where they are, turn your chest. So you're looking at your right thigh. So you might walk your hands over a little bit. We're going to lie down over this right thigh. We'll start with an inhale. And then as you exhale, walk your hands out or wherever they need to go. Maybe the left arm can extend a little more. Maybe you can tuck your chin. And then I'm just going to add internal action by pressing that left hip away or side waist away. And taking some nice breaths here. Soften your eyes. One more full breath in. Side out. We're going to come up almost the way we came in. So the right hand can come back a little bit. Once it's grounded, reach the left arm up and arc it all the way over. And then just sit for a moment, palms up like we did, just to feel the two sides and close your eyes if you like. Oh, that's a difference. Okay, and then we'll just change the cross of the legs as you're ready. We'll do the second side. Starting with the left hand down, we'll reach the right arm up as you inhale. And as you exhale, you crescent over. And then we'll just dance it. Maybe it's an inhale to lift and exhale to release. Just move with your breath. Breath is the bridge between your outer world and your inner world. Good. Let's just do a few more. Oh yeah. I'm going to start to add that flexing of the hand. The wrist just pressing away. Good. And let this be your last one. And so the next time the arm comes over, we're just going to hang out there for a few. Push away. Reach. One more inhale. And then exhale. And we'll just set both hands down over on the left side. And just turn your head to look over this left shoulder. Take your heart in, your belly in a little bit. Drop the shoulders, the jaw, anything you can recruit and anything you can release. One more breath here. And we're going to prepare to lie over this left thigh. So turning your chest to face the thigh and then walking your hands out wherever they need to go. Again, maybe the right arm will extend a little bit more than the left. And you cup your chin and even rest your forehead on your knee, but it doesn't matter. Let the head go, the jaw go. Pressing through the right hip or the side waist. Looking for a little bit more internally. And take one nice big breath in. Release. And bring that left hand in wherever it needs to go. So as you inhale, you can sweep the right arm up and over your head. And then exhale, come back to sitting. Just pause and stretch your legs out if you like. Okay. Good. So I'm just going to change the cross of the legs again. And you can go straight leg. We're just going to take forward fold in the center here. So the other thing I might do is widen this. So I take my knees out a little bit and kind of line heel to heel up. That's not present, it's all good. So take a nice inhale, lengthen. And as you exhale, just walk your hands into center wherever you go. Keep your, let's keep a little bit of that cat pose. So the tailbone stays grounded. You might even feel like you're drawing your mid belly in, you're rounding your back.
And just walk yourself in. And then once you feel like you're settled here, you can start to let the belly go. And that might drop you in a little bit more deeply. You can come onto your forearms if that's there. And just be with the breath as we did at the beginning of class. So you really feel the oscillations of your breath here. And what can you soften? Good. Okay, take one more full breath in. And a full breath out. And then walk yourself upright like we do. So the head stays hanging, maybe the eyes stay closed until you come upright. And then just softly bring yourself back into your sit. Stretch the legs out, give them a little bit of moving, and then we're going to come to Badakanasana. So if you need stuff underneath your knees, grab it. And then we'll just bring the soles of the feet together. Give yourself a little footy. And let's just pay attention to the inner arch area for a moment. So you might just take your thumbs and just make some nice circles there in the inner arch, the center of your foot. Yes. Okay. And then we'll walk our thumbs up to the balls of the feet, give them a little rub. Good. Okay. And then we're just going to take the hands now. You're just going to work them. Inner calf, inner knee, inner thigh. Just do that up and down a few times. Squeezing or even using your press of your fist, whatever it is, kind of just get in there. Good. And then we're just going to sit tall. So I'll take my hands to the floor. I'm going to take the soles of the feet, really press them together. That does engage the hips a little bit. Heels pressing against each other. Lift your heart. Yeah. And then notice if you're like, I know for me, I'm more in cow pose. So I'm going to take these bottom ribs in. And that kind of settles things. Maybe the arms lift. And you can even look up. Just take a few breaths here. Okay, let the jaw go, friends. We are moving the hips are opening here, or they're working in some way. Let the jaw go. Take 2 more breaths. Feel the lift, softening. Good. And then we'll take one last inhale, reach up. Exhale, send the hands to the floor. Once they touch the floor, we'll stretch the legs out, move them around a little bit. Good. Okay. All right. So we're going to come to, we're going to come to standing. So before I do that, while we're still sitting, take your blanket and just roll it up into a nice sausage, a vegan sausage. And we'll just put it down on the center of your mat. I'm going to move my bolster out of the way. Move the other blanket, and then I'm going to grab my blocks. And we'll take blocks up to the front. Okay. Oh, I'll take my socks off too. So if you're wearing your socks, take them off. Okay. All right, so just a little movement, guys. I'm going to start, let's start with maybe downward facing dog. So you have your props. They're going to be immaterial, unless you need to move your blocks off your mat for your downward dog. And if you're like, Joe, I don't want to do a downward dog, then that's okay. You're listening to your body. Take child's pose or puppy pose. Okay, let this be your wake up. So feel free to move your legs, wag your tail, move in your pose. Find your breath. Okay. Take your time. Okay, I'm really hugging my arms towards each other. And then I'll move the shoulders away from the ears, lengthening the neck, crown of the head. And then I press the hands down and away. Move the thighs back. And then from that place, press your heels towards the floor. Good. You can soften your knees, friends, too. Take one more breath. Good. Okay, when we come to hands and knees, I'm just going to walk my feet up. So as I bring my knees down, I'm going to get the tops of the feet on this blanket. So you see if that's not good for you, you can adjust. I'm going to send the tush down and then just move the blocks forward. Maybe you move onto your forearms, or you come all the way down. Okay, so you have the tops of your feet on the blanket. If this works, you could be still on your hands and knees and just rocking if the knees don't want to bend this way. I'm just going to really flex the toes. Good. Take one more breath. Okay, I'm going to bring the blocks back in. And then take your hands to the floor. You're just going to place your feet down. Kind of, heels don't have to touch here. Here we are. Okay. So I'm going to move into forward fold. Let's bring the blocks in so they're underneath your hands. And then you'll lift your seat up. And here we are. Now I'm going to step the balls of the feet onto the sausage. So the heels are on the floor. And we'll just bend and straighten the knees a few times. Yeah. We're just going to get into the calf muscle a little bit here. So just do this a few times and notice, if the blocks are not high enough for you, then maybe you just turn around and place your hands on the wall. Okay, after you kind of figured this out, look at your heels and make them disappear so you're not turning in too much. Okay, so now hands are on your blocks. The balls of the feet are on the blanket. I'm going to lift the heels up and then lower them. We'll just do that a few times. So take your gaze, so you're looking down and not really seeing as you're feeling inside. Okay, the next time the heels come up, we're going to be here on the balls of the feet. I'm going to start to bend the knees. And then just look forward. Send your tush back and bring the heels down. Yeah, and so I still have my bend in my knees here. Take one more breath. And we're going to come to standing. So you might sit down a little more, take your hands to your hips, come all the way up. And just be here on the blanket with the balls of the feet on the blanket, heels on the floor, arms can be dropped down or hands on your waist. And we'll lift all 10 toes up. And just press everything into this blanket. Thighs back. Good. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Let's just take 3 breaths here. So you feel that inhale, lengthening, pressing the heels, reaching up, then a softening. 2 more. Last one. And then reach up and exhale, open your arms, feel the feet. So as you bend the knees to come into forward fold, you're putting that weight into the feet. Find your blocks. Yes, maybe straighten your legs, look forward. Good. Okay, and we're going to fold. So I'm going to come all the way down. You can keep your hands on your blocks. This is where things maybe get more interesting. Or you take your hands to the floor, if that is available. Maybe you need to wag your tail or shake your legs. Maybe you can lift your toes. Just open those calves. So important. Breathe. Melt where you can. So the feet are active. The weight is in the heels. The legs bent, straightening if possible. Okay, and then we'll put the hands on the blocks. You're going to step right over your blanket. Put your feet on the floor. Good. And then move your blocks wherever you need. We're just going to drop into forward fold here without anything. And you might be like, this feels so easy. Or whatever it is. Good. Okay. And then take your hands back to your blocks if you took them off. And we're going to put the heels on the blanket roll. And it might even be like heels in the center of your foot. And then find this lift of your heart, lift of your head, and lift the toes and the balls of the feet up. And really push the heels down into the blanket. Maybe the thighs move back, maybe the heart can lift a little more. And wherever your head is, guys, keep your head where it is. Just lift your gaze, look up as much as you can. Okay, take one more breath. And we'll take the feet down, Move your blocks forward, step right off that blanket to your feet, and we'll inhale, come all the way up. Good. Tuck your palms over your head and exhale, bring these hands down in front of your heart. We're going to move into tree pose. Good. So you have your blocks, maybe a wall if you need it. Okay, let's start balancing on the left foot. And let's start this. Look down at your left foot, lift everything up at the heel. And now feel like you're going to make this foot longer. So I'm going to just stretch it as I put it down. Maybe the toes are going to spread. And then we'll lift the right heel, turn the knee out, find your tree. Wherever it goes, it goes. Find your, be the tree. Be the tree. Nice and long and strong, connected, powerful. It knows that the roots need to feed the leaves. Send your breath everywhere. If your arms are lifted up, you might even flip your wrists like we were doing before, like you're pressing something up. Good. Press the heel into your standing leg. One more breath. Good. And then exhale, like to release the arms first, just for challenge, and then step down. And then just be, might even close your eyes, feel. Okay, we're going to do a little, before we go to the second side, I'll just move this little sausage roll out of the way. Step your feet apart just a little bit, and we're just going to do cat-cow here. So I'll put the hands on the hips, little bend in your knees, and we'll just start with, seated or a standing cat-cow. So you're just moving your hips. We're going to start to, bring in a little bit of hip dancing. So just do this a few times, just rocking your hips. And the next time the tush goes back, let's start to find this little hula dance. Just circle your hips. Okay, feel if your legs need to go wider. And, those of you who were in class last time, we did cat-cow without moving the low back. See here if you can just really isolate this in the hips. Change direction. Yes. This is one of those things, rolling your hips, that maybe we don't do so much here, but there's a lot of countries where this is so integral. It's expression of movement, expression of your health. Okay, come back to your center. Pause, just breathe. Feel the vitality, the energy, and then we're gonna do tree pose on the right foot. So start by lifting the sole of the right foot up, press the heel down, and stretch that foot. Even if nothing happens, it's the intention, okay? And then when you're ready, lift the heel, turn the knee out, find your tree, be the tree, breathe into your tree, steady. Trees do wobble. They have to be able to blow in the wind, otherwise they break. So the wobbling, all of that, embrace your tree. Okay, I can see for myself here in the camera now. I'm going to adjust it more, but that left hip is really lifting. So I'm going to hug the hips towards each other. Press the heel. Yeah, all good. The wobbling and the falling and not being able to get it is brain gym. It's all good. Okay, I'm going to take 2 more breaths. Last one. And then release. So maybe hands first if you like, or leg, and then we just be. Good. Okay. So last standing pose is going to be a wide-legged, and I'm just going to take, if you like to use blocks, you might bring them to the front, and then just step your feet wide apart. Turn your heels out, toes in, and then let's just take 5 like this little star. You can't see my arms, but they're not that much lifted, just a little bit here. I'm just going to press back through the thighs. If I can drop the tail. So you're in the feet. Maybe you can lift all 10 toes up. Good. Okay, breathe in, reach up. And then breathe out. Open your arms, take your fold. So hands can go to the blocks or to the floor. Good. And inhale here. I'm just moving my blocks out of the way. And exhale and just fold right between your legs. On your blocks, hands on the floor, whatever you choose. If your hands can move in between your feet, take them there. And then I really spread the fingers and I'm pushing the hands down and forward as I press the thighs back. Okay, notice if the weight is on the inner heels. This is very specific. Can you push the inner thighs to the outer thighs so you end up more on the outer heel? Don't worry if you don't get that. Take one more breath. Okay, we're going to come back to the halfway. So hands on blocks are on the floor. And we're just going to wag the tail, but also bend the knee. So you shift the hips to one side, bend your knee. Just do this. Let's open up those inner legs. Maybe your head is turning. Just be with your breath, friends. Don't worry. If you're doing it right, you're doing it. Good. Okay. That's it. Good. Come back to your center. I'm going to walk my hands to the front of the mat and step both feet back and take one last downward dog here. Let's open the feet wide, maybe as wide as your mat. Your hands can go as wide as your mat if you like. Press your open calves back, heels to the floor or towards the floor. Even if they don't get there, it's all fine. Good. Okay, and then we'll release down. And you could just sit or take child's pose, whichever one. Let's take a few breaths. Okay, beautiful. And then just find your way to sitting. Okay, I'm going to just move the camera down. We're going to bring our bolster in. Put the bolster maybe a third of the way down the mat. Okay, this is going to be personal. You decide how much you want. And I'm going to show you quickly what we're doing so you understand. So I'm just going to take a blanket. I'm going to fold it into thirds. I just did that super quick just to make my bolster bigger. And then I'll take another blanket and just put it here for support. So this is what we're going to do. Just so you see it. Okay. So you could use bolster, more blankets. If you want more, I might even just pop a block underneath the blanket here. So whatever you want. We'll start with let's sit on the right side, whichever side you sit on, just remember. And then we want to find this soft space between your ribs and your hip, getting this support. So yeah, and then you can support your head, maybe another block for your head. Maybe that left arm comes over. You could use your block too in between the hands, or underneath the head. So many things to do with your props. Okay, what we are looking for though is an opening in this left side. So once you're here, you can adjust your legs. Maybe they want to go straighter and maybe not. And if you put, once you're in it, you'll feel too, do I want to go higher or is that a good? Okay, so I'm just going to give you a few moments. Find your breath. And just irrigate, nourish and feed. No. I'm not saying no to you guys. You're doing great. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit extra by taking the right hand and grabbing that left wrist and just giving it a little pull. And I might even stretch the left leg out. Oh, puppies. Okay, take one more breath. And then very slowly bring yourself out. And once you come up, take your time. Oh, wow. Okay. Let's just sit and feel all that good stuff. Good. Okay. And then we'll do the other side. It's probably like, oh, I'm so excited for my turn. Okay. So set up. And then find your way on your second side. So the left hip is there, and I'm looking for that soft space between ribs and hip. Up and over, and then just adjust. Do what you need to do, and let yourself slowly come in. Oh, coughing is good. and get things fresh. So then once you're in it, you just kind of, again, take your time, let the body adjust. And then you're in control here of what the legs are doing. And if you're leaning back a little bit or forward, nice, beautiful breathing. And then take the left hand, grab the right wrist, give it a little lengthening through the right side. And then extend the right leg. And then full breath, smile. Okay, we'll come out. Okay, so I know it's not a ton of time. My yoga teacher in Winnipeg said many, many years ago, I give you the recipe and you decide what you want to cook at home. I love that. So if you love that, you can always bring it back. Okay, so for our next pose, we're going to take your strap. We're going to do a Supta Badakanasana and we're going to strap it in. So you take your blankets now and we're just going to roll them up. So 2 blankets to support your knees or your thighs, and those will just go on either side of you. And then we put the bolster on the center of the mat, and you could have your bolster flat, but if you like to prop it up with your blocks, you can totally do that. So this is the pose. We're going to go in all together, but I just show you quickly. Soles of the feet together and then line back. So you might want another blanket for your head, or you can use your blocks underneath the bolster, just to give it a little bit of a lift if you need that. Okay, then we're going to take the strap. So once you have everything set up, take your strap. I'm going to make a nice big loop in that strap, and it's going to go over the head. So just like this, and then it just goes all the way over like you're putting on your shirt, and it's going to go all the way down to your hips. Okay, so it might be a while since we've done this. So I'm going to turn around. And once you have your strap, I take my thumbs here. I'm just going to slide through so there's no wrinkles and move it down low. And then it goes over the hips. So it's low. It's not up at your waist. It's on your hips. Take your buckle, friends, and move that so it's closer to your thigh. And then we'll take the end and just whoop, put it underneath the feet. Okay, then again, you can pull it down. It might be a little loose, and that's going to be good. And then I have this part of the buckle here. If I need to make it tighter or looser, it's there. Okay, then now we bring our blankets in to support the thighs and the calves. If you need something to keep you warm, another blanket, put that in. I'm just going to cover my toes here. Okay, and then once you're here, I lift my tush just for a moment and then come on down. So we have a little bit of something here. If the buckle's bothering you, you move it. Take your time to feel what you need. So we're looking for this nice opening of the low belly. So maybe even from the navel to the pubic bone, it's going to start to open. Move your arms out to the side, or if you need to keep them lower, you do that. Okay. Just automatically tuck my shoulder blades in, and then feel your head, friends, that it's not hanging down. It's supported, or it's happy. Good. And then once you're settled, maybe you take a nice big breath in, side out. Feel that the soles of the feet are being held together by the strap. So the circuit is unbroken. Just as you're settling, make yourself comfortable with whatever else you need to do. And, everything open here in the lower 3 chakra points. And so the base of your spine is the first chakra, it's the earth. Just below the navel is the second one, that's your water. And then above the navel, by the solar plexus, is your fire center. The elements of earth, element of water, element of fire. And, we can probably put a lot of our emotional stuff into those 3 spaces, the fiery, the watery, the grounded and the ungrounded. So as you're settling here and your body starts to receive this shape, really follow your breath into the basin of your pelvic bowl, of your low belly. Softening your jaw, your eyes, your shoulders. And really being with the flow of the breath at the base of the earth. As much as you can. Thinking and feeling that the intention here is eventually to feel the breath in the front, the back, and the sides of your pelvic bowl. And softening the upper chakras, all the muscles of your face, your shoulders, your jaw. You can be very present. Anything that we're holding, any blockages, any places in the lower chakras that feel a little stuck. But at the top of all of that is that you are present, connecting and feeling what is going on within your own structure. You know all the stuff that you've been through, what you're going through, how you're feeling. Feel yourself here, receiving and releasing. The work being done in the flow of your breath. And your willingness to connect to it. Okay, so we're going to be here for about another minute or so. I'm just going to let you be here in the quiet, in your own experience. So as we move into our final few moments here, let yourself be as heavy as possible and as light as possible. So just before we come out, if you'd like to take your arms and reach them over your head, they could just rest there. You could fold and grab opposite elbows or even interlace the fingers behind your head. And in that way, we start to invite the breath, the energies to move up. Fill in, maybe into the sides of your ribs, the front and back of your ribs. Okay. And then to come out, we'll just slip the feet, maybe 1 foot, and you might have to use the hands to help. Just take the feet out from the strap and just extend your legs out. So we're in this Shavasana 2 for a moment or two. Your arms can still be over your head if you like, or just rest in. Okay, one more breath. Yes. Bend the legs, feet to the floor. You can roll to your side or just press yourself up if you like. Just come up to sitting for a moment. Once you're up, you just slide this strap over your head and out to the side. And, okay, so the next one we're going to do, guys, is lying down twist. And so you could keep your bolster there if you like. The legs are going to go over to the side, and they can go wide, they can stay tight. You might even open your leg. Oh, if I open the legs, I'm going to put the top one over. You'll see how it goes. So we'll just start like this. You have your bolster here. If you need to make yourself warm, because we're going to rest on each side for a few moments. And then once you're here, put both hands on either side of this bolster. And there's a lengthening as you inhale, and then you exhale, you turn like we did at the very beginning of class. Look over your right shoulder and extend yourself out over this bolster. Your head can face the same direction as your knees. You can also turn away, but if that's too much, you won't have to do it. And then as you've all done this with me, I love to take a few moments just to let the pose settle. And then after maybe 3 or 4 breaths, so just press yourself up. Re-lengthen and turn again so you get more of the left side of your chest to this bolster. Adjust what you need, and then come in. Okay. And then you can adjust the legs. Oh no, I said that wrong, didn't I? No, I didn't say anything wrong. But the bottom leg is for me, it's the right leg. I'm just going to stretch it out and take the left leg and just also stretch it out. But it doesn't need to. They can stay bent. It's about the twisting action that's happening. Okay, so make yourself comfortable, take a few moments to adjust, and then be as still as possible. Now you have your blanket rolls. You could pop them in, maybe for under your arms if you like, whatever you need, and then rest here. Watch yourself a little more deeply. And following the flow of your breath. The bridge between the outer world and the inner world. If you have your head turned away, just bring it back now. Just let the neck come back. Take a nice big breath in and maybe sigh this one out. And melt deeply. And then you'll take your hands and just press yourself up. And as you come up, you might even just turn so that the back is facing the bolster. And just sit for a few moments, just as we did at the beginning of class, just to feel. And let the twist unwind. And then friends, when you're ready, you'll open your eyes and we'll turn to the opposite side. Okay, and then, if you use the blankets for your arms, whatever you need, you know how to find it. And so as you drop in, we'll just rest here for a few moments, let this side open. And again, take 3 breaths. You just get the body ready, and then once you feel the body settled, then you press yourself up. Turn a little bit more deeply, come in. Head doesn't need to turn away, but it might. If you want to adjust your legs here. Again, they could just stay bent, it's all fine. The twist is happening in the spine with the head turning and the breath being brought into new places. That's where we're working. And then your legs are like an extension of your guts and your lungs. However you put them, if you stretch them, maybe you get a little bit more. If they're not ready for that, it's okay. And just dropping in and receiving the luxury of this. Before we move from here to the next part of this pose, really feel yourself nourishing yourself. The breath being moved, invitation to ground and to also be light. And then if you have your head facing away from your knees, just turn it back now for a few moments. Take a nice big breath in, side out. Find your way up and out of this and back into your sit. Just let everything unwind and gently come back. Really feel what you've done. Okay, so our last pose before Shavasana will be a forward fold. So I'm just going to turn and face this bolster. I'll move the legs on either side of the bolster. I'm going to open them wide. You have your blanket rolls. If you want to pop them underneath your knees, and you can always do that, or underneath your heels, or whatever you need. I'm going to use the bolster, but if that doesn't work, you do whatever works. So once you're here, just nice and slow, start to bring yourself forward. Hands can just stay on the floor and support you. You want to rock a little bit, do all of that stuff that you know and love. Whatever helps to bring you into the present moment, into everything that's happening. backs of your legs. You use the word grounding, but you don't have to press them down. They're just being received into the ground, into the floor. And let the rest of the body drop in. And whatever this pose is for you, let it be soft. Let it be that opening into all that is at this moment. Notice tension in your shoulders, your jaw, even the back of your neck. So let your head drop. And softening what you can. And now that you're in it, just find that flow of the breath. So you feel the inhale moving, and you notice for yourself, where is it moving? And where's the exhale releasing you into? You just notice. And then be in that flow of your ocean, the energy in motion, as it travels through you. Without taking any extra tension. And the grounding in your sit, without pressing it down. It's just happening. Soften anything you can, maybe the feet, you can let that go. Shoulders a little more, the back of the heart a little more. So we're just here for another few moments. Find your comfort. And whenever you're ready for it, let it be a very slow release. A lot happening there. You can bring your legs in, kind of stretch them out either side of the bolster, fold them in, cross-legged, whatever you like. And let's just take a few moments in quiet sit with the palms facing up, the chin bowed slightly, shoulders dropping, jaw dropping. I'm just going to do a little light tapping before we enter into our final pose of Shavasana. So just stay as you are. I'm just going to take your fingertips and place them along the center of your forehead. So the nail beds are touching and the palms are facing maybe down to your forehead. And just start to tap from the center of the forehead to the temples and then back. And just do that a few times. Yeah, that's it. Good. Okay, take your fingers now to the back of your neck. Give that some tapping. And you might even move into the back of the hairline, behind the ears, over the ears, anywhere there. Just the back of your neck, back of your skull. Do a little tapping. Smile. And now you're going to move to your earlobes. Just grab your earlobes, give them a little pull, or pull all along the ears. Let your hands move as they need to. Up to the tops and back down to the lobes. And then take your hands to your upper heart, so right below the sternum, and we'll just tap. This is like when you were a little kid and you would do this. So just tap around here, let it travel wherever it wants to go, shoulders, chest. And then we're going to go to the underarms, right up high, like a little monkey. And you can tap, but you could also just make some circles. Probably is a little uncomfortable and tender. It's all good. Good. Okay. Nice. Okay. Last one on the tummy. I'm going to make little fists and just kind of beat around your tum-tum and love your tum. Yeah. Just like that. And then I'm going to move to the tops of the thighs. Give a little bit of this. Inner thighs, outer thighs, whatever you want to tap here. Just wake it up. Okay. We're going to open the hands, circle the knees, give them some love. Okay, and then give yourself a big hug. One arm on top of the other, rub your back, scratch, whatever you can touch there. You can tap, whatever you got there. And then we'll open the arms nice and wide.
And go the other side, another little hug, tap, whatever you got here. Remind yourself of your gift and embodiment. Good. Okay. Arms, forearms, and then we'll move into. Oh, that feels nice, huh? Yes. That's why clapping feels good. All right, Shavasana. So however you want to set up, friends, you could do legs up the wall, use your bolster. I'm going to take one of these blankets and create a little mini bolster for the heel. So again, I just roll it into threes. And I'll just put it down behind that bolster. Little puppy. Oh, sorry, babe. Oh, no. He's jumping on my shoulder. And okay. You're okay. Eating pads if you have them. Always nice. And a prop for your head. Oh, you're so excited, but class isn't over yet. Okay. And then if you have an eye pillow, friends, you know, that's always a nice thing too. All right. Just receiving everything you have open and released. Rested. Following the path of your breath consciously without changing it. You might start to lengthen your breath. You might be like, no, I just want to rest here for as long as I can.
If you're ready to start to move, and let it be very slow and conscious, connecting to the movement of your ankles and your wrists and your open and lengthened calves. Bending your knees when you're ready, and just you can rest there for a few moments. Let the body settle. Bring your knees into your chest. Let the body settle. And then whenever you're ready, friends, we'll roll to our side, and again, let your body settle. And we'll do that same thing as you bring yourself up to sitting, so that you sit and let the body settle. Just taking your time to really embrace this quiet and stillness at the end of your practice, the great reward of your effort. You feel all that emotional energy. Maybe it's calmed and maybe it's released. And you feel completely different. Just tuning into whatever it is that you have created, recreated with your practice. As you inhale, lengthen, and as you exhale, bring those palms together in front of your heart and bow your chin, and take a moment. One moment, a great gift. If you'd like to turn on gallery view, go ahead and do that. And we'll seal this practice together. As you inhale, grow tall. Exhale this breath completely. And we'll seal with our May We Be Blessed mantra. Inhale. May we be blessed with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be healthy. And may we be happy. We'll seal that with Om. Inhale. Bowing your chin, Om Shanti, Om Peace, Om Namaste. We'll take a full breath in. Breathe it into your hands. Catch your breath. Lift your chin and open your eyes and offer this to yourself, And we offer it to each other and out into the world and to our loved ones and to everybody who needs it. Yeah, and then take it back. All right. Thank you guys. So much love and honoring for you, your presence, your practice. Great appreciation. Thank you. Namaste, guys. Have a great rest of this day. We'll see you on the next. Nice to see you, Liz. First time I think I'm seeing your face this New Year. Happy New Year. All good. So much love. We'll see you guys.